the Stars. My name is Andrea Clem, and I am an astrologer and a course shamanic practitioner from the local area. And you are watching Turn to the Stars, and this week I'm going to just sort of do an overview of what I'm going to be talking about during the course of today's show. And today I'm going to just want to remind you first about the Psychic Holistic Fair coming up this Saturday, July 21st at the Yard Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. We have a really exciting event planned. This is our 2-year anniversary of Turn to the Stars, facilitating these incredible events. And as you know or may not know, our intention around hosting these fairs and bringing them to you is to really heighten our community's awareness to the quality of holistic healing. And we believe as a whole that if there's an issue that you've dealt with over and over in your life, or if you're just looking for insight and information to help confirm some things that you're experiencing, whatever it may be, we all believe that healing begins with the spirit, the soul, the mind, and the body. We call that SSMB at Turn to the Stars. So we'd love for you to stop by and see us if there's if you're in need of some type of enlightenment, or just stop by and see our vendors. We've got 4 really great vendors. So going to talk about that just a little bit, and I have a great video to share with you that we had on last week's show as well. But also during the course of today's show, I'm going to be talking in depth about Mercury Retrograde, which is already in motion. And I'm also going to talk about the new moon occurring this week on July 19th and what that means to us here in the United States. And I'm also going to be talking about the full moon, which is on August 1st, and what that energy is bringing light to as it approaches for each of us in our lives. So those are the main topics of today's show. And so I do want to also remind you that the theme of the Psychic Fair that we're having this Saturday, July 21st, is Let Your Heart Soar. And it's interesting because every single one of our holistic psychic fairs has a theme to it. And this theme, Let Your Heart Soar, is about really paying attention to what is in your heart and letting that come forward and letting it soar and, following that in your life. So we've got some pretty exciting different aspects of the fair, and you'll see up on the front table at registration there's going to be a container that has messages in it, little cards that have a different bird, which is lending into soaring, and each of those cards has a different bird, and they're the energy or the message that particular bird carries for you. So invite you to reach your hand into that glass jar, that cookie jar, so to speak, and pull one of those little messages out, and hopefully that will provide some insight into your life, as that is one of our gifts from Turn to the Stars. We make them each time. And so that there's going to be 19 different types of readings at the fair. I'll be doing astrology, there's mediumship, there's angel cards, angel oracles, seashell readings. You're going to see all of that in the video, which I'm going to play. And we have 4 different vendors, and we have 3 healing practitioners. So it is going to be a phenomenal event, and we hope that you will stop by. Bring your family, bring your friends. We're going to look forward to seeing you there. And just before we move on to play the video, which is The music is by Phil Collins, and it's called You'll Be in My Heart. I just want to remind you that we're going to be coming back, and we're going to be talking about Mercury Retrograde, very important period of time to be aware of, and the new moon and the full moon that are coming up, because this is a major turning point for all of us, and I'll explain why when I come back. So I'm going to go ahead and play that video, You'll Be in My Heart, and I'll be right back.
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart, always. Why can't they understand the way we feel? They just don't trust what they can't explain. Well, I know we're different, but deep inside us, we're not that different at all. And you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they know? We need each other to have to hold. They'll see in time, I know. When destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you got to hold on. They'll see in time, I know. We'll show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Believe me, you'll be in my heart. I'll be there from this day on, now and forevermore. Ooh, you'll be in my heart. You'll be here in my heart. They say I'll be with you, be here in my heart. I'll be there always, always. I'll be with you, but I'll be there for you always, always and always. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. I'll be there always. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be we're not that different at all. And you will be in my heart. Yes, you will be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they...
Certainly, this Mercury retrograde is going to remind us all that we need to be in our heart, and we need to listen to our hearts, because Mercury retrograde, which just started on July 15th, is a period of time. It's going to go from July 15th through August 7th, and this Mercury retrograde is actually occurring in the constellation, as you can see on the chart on the screen, in the constellation of Leo. And in the United States, this is actually what you're seeing on your screen, the United States birth chart, which is the middle wheel. The outer wheel is showing the planets and where they are in reference in our constellation, in the constellations, and how they are impacting us here in the United States. And that Mercury retrograde, as you can see, just about 1 o'clock, if you're looking at a clock, 1 o'clock is about where Mercury is showing up. It's the yellow symbol and the top right, right about 1 o'clock, and it's at 12 degrees of Leo when it began, this Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, for anybody out there who doesn't know what it is a period in time where this planet appears to be going backward in time. So it's sort of like we get these experiences like we're driving backwards, or we have to go back and look at things that we've already covered, look at things that we've already talked about, things that we've already thought we had all the answers to. It's not a great time for making decisions. However, if you do feel or find that you have to make a decision during this time because of your life experiences or your life circumstances, if you just know that this is probably something that will change, that there'll be more information that you discover that you weren't aware of before. For instance, if you move, you will not stay in that new location long. If you start a new job, that job will change. If you sign a lease or you sign a contract, there'll be something about that that will cause some problems that you'll have to take a second look at. So it is absolutely a time that brings about delays. And the interesting thing, Leo energy, which is the constellation that this Mercury retrograde is taking place in, rules the heart. It rules how we express ourselves. So during this period of July 15th through August 7th, you may find that there's things in your heart that you would like to express, and that you find the way to do that. So that's a way that we can use Mercury retrograde or look forward to. I also refer to it as a period of medicine, or a period where we have a prescription which is divinely offered to us through the energy of this Mercury retrograde, offering us knowledge, offering us information that we didn't have before. So it can work as a medicine, or work to heal our minds and our way of thinking. So it is actually, and I've come to look at Mercury retrograde as a period, as a gift, as something I wouldn't have had if I didn't get to go back. So I do want to remind you that that phrase you saw at the end of the video, there may be certain things that catch your eye. Pursue only those that capture your heart. That's an old Indian saying, and I thought it was just really beautiful. So, because there are many things that we do see in life. There's many things that we like, that we think are beautiful, but especially at these times that we're living in, we all feel quite fragmented, like the picture behind me. I picked that picture for a reason, because there's so many of us that have a lot of worries here in the United States especially, this Mercury retrograde is reminding us that we have a lot of worries about our financial position, and with good reason. And Mercury retrograde is actually taking place in that particular part of the United States birth chart, which has us all talking, all thinking, all looking and searching for ways of how we can bring about change in these particular areas. And it's interesting because you see in the news on TV, Mitt Romney, Barack Obama, that they are slinging words at each other, accusations at each other, which are all about money, about Mitt Romney's investments, his financial portfolio. They want to see his tax returns, and there's also some other things that you see that are front and center. So Leo can be extremely very strong, and it does also promise that the truth will come out. Leo is one of those energies that dictates the truth be front and center and very important. It's a very royal type of energy, or a very the word I use the word loyal, but also fixed, very strong. And so definitely during this Mercury retrograde, we're going to see lots and lots of talks. And the question is how can we in the United States continue to be, this is interesting, these are some notes I made in preparing for the show, and one of the questions I came up with in regards to this astrology piece and the influence is, how can we in the United States continue to be a leader yet help other countries through their difficulties during this time? And I do believe that during this period of Mercury retrograde, there's going to be much discussion and research being done to resolve, how can we resolve some of these issues, which are with the European dollar. You see these problems front and center. You are going to see lots of ego-centered bashing of each other's issues, discoveries about money, and I mean that bashing or that mudslinging or perhaps these are things really that are in the minds of these presidential candidates, and here they are sharing those pieces with you. So it is interesting that in piecing all of this together, Mercury retrograde does play a very important part, and because without that information that we're going to be obtaining during this period, it would not be complete, would not be full. And we are looking for ways to get to the root of the problems that we're facing here in the United States. And so if you want, I would like to show you what it looks like when Mercury retrograde ends on the screen. This chart that you're looking at right here shows you what it is going to look like. So we're going to have this sort of backward movement you saw with the chart with Mercury. When Mercury retrograde begins, you saw it was higher up on the chart. Now it's moved down a little bit. So we're going to go all the way back to 1 degree of Leo. So anybody with planets or any planets in their chart in the early degrees of Aquarius or any zodiac sign are going to have experiences where they're going to have information that they didn't have at the beginning of the Mercury retrograde. So that's an important piece of information to remember. And so one of the probably what I'll ask you to highlight is this date, July 28th. July 28th is actually the period when the Sun and Mercury come together, and I call that a turning point because it's the spirit or the light of who we are, sheds light on the thoughts or the ideas that we have. And it's like a very big aha moment for most of us, what it is that we've been being asked to take a second look at. So that date, July 28th, is significant to the United States, significant to you. And so I'd ask you to just take note of that. And it will be a time where there's this aha, I get what this is about. And then you continue to piece it all together. Like the picture behind me, it shows fragments and pieces coming together to form a whole. And I think that's enough information about Mercury retrograde for now, and I would like to go talk about the new moon, which is coming up this week, which is a marker, a monthly marker, and this is July 19th, that's this Thursday, and you can see the new moon where the moon and the sun are together up again about 2 o'clock. On the top of this chart, we see the sun and the moon together in the constellation of Cancer at 26 degrees. And again, more energy around finances, more energy around our banks, our lending institutions, our financial state, more energy around different other countries and their money and their issues that they're dealing with. And I will tell you that what we will be, this is the notes I made on this new moon and this new theme that's going to begin to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger every day starting July 19th. This new moon does promise that there's going to be some power plays with the banks, the lending institutions, and the citizens of the United States, and that we will find ourselves in a place of huge decision. There'll be actions taken positively to change the healthcare system with positive results. So these are some of the forecasts that or projections that I have around this new moon. And it's sort of like, every single month we have this period of where it's dark at night. We don't see the moon, and that's because we have a new moon that is culminating. That means that the sun and the moon have come together in the same constellation, and so it's dark outside. And every day we get to see a little bit more of the physical piece of the moon because of the sun reflecting on it. So it's a growing theme. Naturally, with that new moon, it promises a new theme. So between July 19th and August 1st, which is the full moon, you will see this theme play out, the theme that I just talked about. But it is going to be, there's a big impact on our families here. Cancer is the sign of the family. It is the energy that really brings into our vision, our families, and how to protect our families. It brings into focus our homes, the place where we all live and find safety and nurturance and care. It's a place where we go to rest. It's a place where we go to feel safe and to be cared for. So a lot of energy around the home, the domestic properties, meaning our real estate, a lot of energy around that. And some of the notes I made are that there's some financial changes that will become the top topics of discussion. Lots of emotion from the public to unite on these decisions on health care and insurance coverage. And I do have some more information which I want to share with you, which I've been really studying for a little bit of time. And there's a Sabian symbol that is significant and does give us more information on this new moon, which is at 26 degrees and 54 minutes of Cancer. And what this Sabian symbol, the message it carries is it's now or never. And for the American family, for our financial system, for our banks, for our mortgage companies, for the foreign lands that are also dealing with financial problems that we are connected with, it is now or never. And the problems that do continue to plague us, there's a lot more to go here, and it is now or never that we really realize the severity and how very critical it is that we take a good deep look at how we can positively make some good changes here in the United States. And one of the interesting things on this new moon is that Mars is in opposition to Uranus and squaring Pluto, and it demands, what this means is it demands action. It demands our intention, our passion, it demands reform, and it demands regeneration. And these are the things that we are struggling with, and these are the things that are hard right now. And as the night skies have been indicating, we do have a real need for change, and it's been for the last few years, truly. And we're at this point in time where action has to be taken that will take us further on our path. And as hard as it is, we need to continue to pursue these changes and positively look at how we can fix this, how we can change the structures that have been in place and replace them with ones that will work. Not an easy thing, and we are certainly struggling with that. And one of the main themes, as I said before, is that truly is that it is having a huge impact on the American family. We are at this turning point. July, August, September will be where everything begins to peak and become big, and it's like everything is up on the table now. We know that we've had lots of changes occurring. So the full moon, one more last piece before we come to the end of today's show, is just take a look at this full moon. And the full moon, which is occurring on August 1st, does promise us that between July 19th, that's this week, till August 1st, that there is going to be more light, more knowledge, more information, and of how we can unite, how we as a society can connect with each other and see what's best in our best interest. This full moon is going to be in the constellation of Aquarius. You can see it on the bottom part of the chart here, around 7 o'clock, I'd say. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the moon. There's a glyph. It looks like a crescent, and that's 10 degrees of Aquarius, that full moon. So it is bringing out that extreme need that we have to, and a lot of emotion, big emotion. That's what full moons typically guide us to, or influence to have a lot of emotion around something. And for us, it is our money, it is our financial system, and that we have a huge need for change. And the Sabian symbol that is connected with that sings out to us that there's nowhere to run except within, that there'll be reasons that we'll each need to check within ourselves, check within collectively within ourselves, and see what that looks like for us, because there's a need for us to look at things from a different perspective, to be inventive, to be scientific, to check with your friends, connect with your friends. So important, and check in with your community, because it is now or never. And so we're just about at the end of today's show. That was a lot of information to go over, but one more quick reminder: please come down to the fair on Saturday, July 21st at the Yard Seafood and Steakhouse. We're there from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and hopefully we can shed some light on some of the changes that are occurring in your life and how these changes will personally affect you. So many of us are at that place where we need to find the root, or get to the root of problems that we've been experiencing, and that's what we're able to do for you at the Psychic Holistic Fair this Saturday. So thanks for watching Turn to the Stars, and remember, to listen to your heart, follow your heart. There's going to be many things that you see on your path. Follow only the ones that speak to your heart. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.